bam, bam.
We make thousands of conscious observations throughout the day. Most of them are forgotten within seconds, but every now and then you notice something that your mind won't let go of. While pushing my cart through the cereal aisle, I noticed an unusual man. He wore a white shirt with more holes than actual fabric left, but they weren't just normal holes and tears, like might happen if you were working a rough job and had just clocked out. It seemed as if they had been caused by hands pulling at the shirt hard enough to tear pieces of fabric off. As I made this observation, I pushed my cart past him, looking for the Lucky Charms. He smiled at me in that brief moment when our heads were parallel. I smiled back and noticed blood caked under his fingernails as I inched ahead of him. Now, there are all sorts of reasons a person could have blood on their fingers. Normal, everyday reasons. A bloody nose, an unfortunate accident at the climbing gym, or perhaps even a wily cat slicing your fingertips. But usually one washes blood off themselves before going out in public, as a matter of common decency. Whatever it was, it really wasn't any of my business, and I wasn't likely to see him again either anyway. I made my way out into the parking lot when I noticed the man strolling over to the one car that would have made my blood run cold in this situation. It was a large white van with duct tape plastered over the windows, with mud caked onto the tyres and paint chipped off in various places. There was one spot on the back window where the duct tape was peeled back a bit, and I could see a small bloody handprint dried onto the glass. The man looked back and noticed me appraising his car. He smiled and stared at me for a few seconds before slowly sliding into the car and driving away. As he pulled out of the parking lot, I snapped a picture of his license plate. 988145. I reported it to the police and they assured me that they'd look into it. I went home to cook dinner and relax after what had turned into a very stressful day. I drifted to sleep on the couch while watching a random show as background noise to drown out my troubling thoughts. I woke up a few hours later to a light tapping sound on my window pane. The room was completely dark, as the television would have turned itself off a while ago. The tapping continued, with the source masked by the shades. Tap, tap, tap. They came in threes. Tap, tap, tap. Too controlled and frequent to be caused by the classic tree branch against a window, though I don't actually have any trees directly in front of my house. Tap, tap, tap. I began to shake in fear. Tap, tap, tap. The window was only a couple of feet away, with my hand closing in on the cord to draw open the shades. Tap, tap, tap. I would do it quickly, as to surprise whatever was on the other side. Tap, tap, tap. The shades flew open. And I saw the grinning face of the man from the store illuminated by a street lamp. Tap, tap, tap. He looked at me for a second longer, relishing the fear dawning on my face, and smeared blood across the window pane. He backed away from the window with the same grin plastered across his face, taking his time as I stood frozen in fear. When he was out of sight, I dashed to the phone and dialed 911 in one swift motion. They arrived an hour later, and when I opened the door to greet them, the officer looked at me with an already troubled face. They had found the mangled body of a missing 8-year-old slumped against my house, directly under the window. An investigation was opened, and I hadn't heard anything about it for a couple years until last night. I woke up early in the morning to the sound of a light tapping on my window pane. I still don't have any trees, and I didn't dare to pull back the shades again.